which way I got to go on this thing. Which way am I?
Are you in? Are you in? She's it. Oh. Lady G is just doing some adjustments here. Well, hello everyone and welcome to the show. And what I want to say, first of all, it is Mercury Retrograde. And you know what? I honestly, Lady G, I absolutely was categorical. I was absolutely certain that I put 11 p.m. UK time, yeah, which should be 6 p.m. EST. And for some reason, I only noticed it today that it says 10 p.m. And people were like, and then I read through some comments and people were like, by the way, you know, it does say 5 p.m. EST. And so we've basically just had this backwards and forwards backstage, and Lady G is like, well, what am I going to tell my viewers? Is it going to be 10 p.m. or 11 p.m.? Because, and I saw people already here, and I was just like, right, let's just go for it. We will just let rip. So everyone, Mercury Retrograde, everyone, every year.
Watch it later. That's okay.
Absolutely.
So no.
People can watch it later. It's absolutely fine. It is Mercury Retrograde until I think it's the 6th of June. All my timings, I'm so glad to be back with my clients doing consultations. All of my client timings went wrong. They all just went squiffed. Obviously, I must have just made a mistake, but then all the other timings went wrong as well. And even my lighting here is playing up as well, because you'll see here, I'll just turn this for the benefit of you guys. You see, I've got an extra ring light because my main ring light is not giving me quite the illumination. But you know what? We will go with it. And sadly, Diane can't be with us today as well because Annie is not very well, unfortunately. I think she's on gas and different stuff like that. So she's struggling with the viruses. So it is a two-hander tonight, but not to worry. You will be thoroughly entertained.
We will muddle through. I was down all day for the count on the couch with Lyme disease and just absolutely out.
What?
Yeah, I've been dealing with it for a long time.
Okay, so how do you manage?
I'm here.
You're dealing with Lyme disease, but you still manage to look absolutely fabulous. Because the first thing, I'm sure you guys would agree, you know, especially in the comments and stuff like that, you are looking gorgeous tonight. You really are. But tell me, what Lyme disease? Every time I have a show with you, Lady G, I find an extra nugget of something about you that I didn't know before. So tell us about it, because that's quite a serious thing, isn't it, Lyme's disease?
It is. You know, I've been having, I've been dealing with stuff for a long time. I have that Morgellons, and it is also from the Lyme disease. It's from getting bit by one of those ticks. But now I've also developed the neurological stuff where you're just feeling like you can't think, you can't read, you can't access words on occasion. So all of that's going on, plus the extreme exhaustion. I don't have it in the rheumatism that some people get, or sometimes they get heart problems. Mine is more going into the neurological type stuff.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, it's definitely not fun. The stiff neck and the, just cloud fog and dizziness and yeah.
Oh my God. Well, wow. Well, I just want to say an extra thank you for joining the show tonight. If you've physically been going through that, if you hadn't said, I and I'm sure everyone else, as I can see in the wouldn't have had a clue. So you're an absolute trooper, and I really appreciate you making that effort to join the show.
Commitment. If I'm still alive and still standing, I will be here.
Of course, and that's one of the things I absolutely love about you, Lady G. I mean, that is remarkable. So, wow. I mean, that is quite something. And here we are. So, and lots of comments coming in. So, I want to say a hello to everyone who is joining us. So, again, sorry about the timings, guys. But look, listen, each year, Mercury retrograde affects me more and more. There's 3 retrogrades each year. Some are worse than others. The last one was an absolute howler. This one is not so bad, but it literally has messed up all my timing. So it's a good job that I was just like, let me prepare for the show early. And then I was reading the WhatsApps and like Lady G's like, we're due to start in 60 minutes. I'm like, what? So anyway, these things. So who do we have with us in the house today? So we have got, let me just scroll up here. Everyone's coming in. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Lot to discuss today. Lots been going on. As usual, Lady G doesn't know what I'm going to ask her, but we're just going to freestyle. We're going to do our thing. So we got Deborah Smith. We have got Marvel Johnson, Azealia, Melody, Justin's mum. We've got Dana, Zendo, Sid, Pamela. So many here. Mark McKenzie. So nice to see you. We had a great chat the other day. But Mark, I got very late to bed, just so you know, by the way. I got very late to bed. Who has Shannon Donnelly and Patricia Franzino and many more. Okay, so let's grab the cards and hopefully my lighting is going to stay.
You look fabulous, darling.
Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you. But it's not quite the brightness, and I dare not touch this thing because the second you touch it, it starts to go all funny and a bit weird. So I'm just getting the old cards out, and what we've got, some people have asked some really good questions, by the way, some really good ones. But let's start with an international question. And I was just watching Dr. Lina Rodriguez, of course, who we all know, who's collaborated on this channel. And she's just given a bit of the spiel, a bit of the news that at the moment, the votes are being counted in the Australian elections.
Okay.
And Lina is very happy because she said Scotty from marketing is out. Yeah, Scotty from marketing is out. And she's very excited. And so I just thought, let's pull some cards to see what the future of Australia will be. So it's clearly the Prime Minister has changed now. I can't remember what Lena said he's called, but he's called a nickname like Gumbo or something like that. So I thought, let's see what the energies are for Australia going forward. Now the Prime Minister is different. All right. All right, Spirit, what can you tell us about Australia going forward? All right, let me move my notes. So, Lady G, I will give you time. So you will be, we'll have the honor of closing comments.
Okay.
So here, I'll just see here. Here's the cards. Right. What's going on for Australia now that they've got their new... According to Lena, I've not seen the official news, by the way, but she said he's out. So she's an Aussie. She knows what she's talking about. She's been watching it. So let's see what the energies for Australia are going forward. And let's see. All right. So I'm just going to turn over here. What do we have? Ooh. Well, look, my cards are upside down. Oh, maybe they're not upside down. I think my cards are upside down. 1 minute. Let me just check the deck. Yeah. God. Okay, so let's turn them around the right way and then put this one back upside down because it should have been upside down, and that should have been the right way up, and that should have been the right way up. Aha. Sorry, guys. Mercury retrograde. Even my cards are upside down. So here, we're just going with it. We're just going with it, folks. Live TV. So look, we've got the Tower. So obviously this is a bit of a bit of a shock and a surprise for Scotty from marketing, as Lena would refer to him. And of course, this is showing that what a big change in Australia. We're talking about the political landscape, etc. Voila, there it is. The results are coming in right now, and the incumbent is gone. So he's having a Tower moment. And I think Lena was actually surprised, actually. So maybe this is actually a bit of a surprise in Australia, but I don't know enough about the story. So let's just go with it. The obstacle position here, and maybe this is actually dealing with Scott Morrison, is it could be a lack of support, because this deals with community, etc. It's come in the obstacle position. It's a lack of support. However, what this also can suggest is that maybe Australia is going to be building something new going forward in the future. Because there we are. Scott's out. There's the shock. And this is also as well, it's an obstacle for him, but maybe this is something Australia going forward with a new sense of community and collaboration. Apparently, the guy, when I was just seeing what Lena was saying, apparently he was raised in a single mother household and is not come from privilege. So she's hoping that that's going to be quite good. Here we got the Lovers reverse. So this is all about decisions. The Lovers is about decisions. It can deal with business collaborations, negotiations, marriage also as well, but it tends to deal with those things on a higher level. And look, it's in the reverse position. So what this suggests is this could be that this new prime minister, in a way, we can say, might be turning certain established relationships upside down. Yeah, it would make sense. We've got the Tower here. Sorry, we've got the Tower.
Yeah.
New collaborations, relationships being what? Turned upside down. I think as well, look, we've got a bit of stinky fish here. There could be some surprises that come out of the network. Maybe this new premiere, maybe something could come out about him or the previous administration. This is what I suspect. When they start cleaning shop, they could find some stuff. And look, the outcome card is the Moon. So it is a new start for Australia, but I think there's a lot of stuff still to come out in the wash, because as we know, we can't see clearly by moonlight. You know, stinky fish is here, so it's talking about messages. So I think this Tower moment will it will lead to a succession and maybe some revelations about stuff we didn't know. Lady G, take the floor.
Okay, underneath of it all, I have, going forward, taking actions, new actions coming out when it concerns, the people surrounding, and it will have something to do with financial stuff and some losses, looking at that. So in the past, they're going to be looking at past endeavors. The present is about more family, and some the challenges, new offers on the table. Foundation of it, we have that they're going to be looking at some abuses that had taken place, taking some actions with that, working on that, working towards that. Above it, in the center, there's going to be that struggle. And again, it's going to come down to some kind of financial things that they're going to lay to rest.
Very interesting. There's certainly, it looks like there's going to be stuff coming out of the woodwork that the new administration is going to be dealing with. Oh, look, my lighting's wobbling again. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I just want to say thank you to Blue Moon Rising. Thank you so much for your donation. Yeah, so in a way, I think both of our cards, which of course would make sense, is saying that this is very much a beginning for Australia, but it may not be quite the stabilizing outcome that some people thought. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff unearthing. I mean, this is a cold read for both of us, isn't it? We don't have a clue about the Australian election.
No idea about any of
No idea
in politics.
Exactly, literally, got no idea. But but sometimes those cold reads are great. And if we look here, I was just shuffling at the base of the deck. Look, there's the star card here. So it could, whatever comes out, I think it will lead to renewal in Australia. And maybe a penny or two has dropped about the culture of the government. And there were a lot of allegations. I heard there was lots of things to do with sexual assault and, different stuff which wasn't so good. Let's see here. I've got a message here from Mark. So Sharon, I've had a couple of rough days. Oh, sure. Ooh, so
what is the Shingrix?
I'm not sure. Could you elaborate on that for us, Mark, in the comments if you're there? If you could elaborate on that for us, because we're not sure. But yeah, I understand you've been under the weather recently, and without obviously divulging what we're talking about, but we talked things about health and stuff like that. So I hope you're feeling a bit. I hope you're feeling a bit better. Oh, there we are. So Connie B saying she loves your hat. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, the shingles vaccine. Oh, well, I'm glad they got it, because I had shingles a couple of years ago, and it's not something you ever want to deal with. It's like,
wow.
It's like hot lava going across your skin. And it is so painful. All you can do is scream and you fall to your knees. You can't even.
Oh my God.
So if you haven't had shingles vaccine, please go get it. You don't want to have it.
Wow, my goodness. Oh my gosh. You've been through some trials and tribulations, haven't you? But you're still here. Here.
Yeah, it's been the last couple of years. Most of my life I've been very, very healthy, and just this last couple of years they all just started,
Gosh, I need to look at your chart again and see it. I think you might be having a Saturn transit going on. That sounds classic Saturn to me, and he just piles it all up and he just throws his sticks and stuff, but there could be other bits and bobs as well.
This will pass, eventually, one way or another.
Absolutely, yeah, of course it will. So, are you ready for the next question, Lady G? Okay. So, indulge us. We're going in with another international one, yeah. And don't worry, there's plenty to talk about in the United States, and like they say, save the best for last. There's lots going on. So this one is about Xi Jinping of China. Xi Jinping, very interesting stuff going on for him. Now, we're now in the new phases of eclipses, yeah? As I've said before, they're going to be happening in Aries and Libra. Solar eclipse a couple of weeks ago happened in Aries. The lunar eclipse technically slipped into a bit of Scorpio, but was mainly, the main duration of it was Libra. So basically Aries and Libra, they're getting all of the action. Yeah, they're getting all of the action, all of the changes, etc. For the next 18 months. But the sun eclipses also represent leaders. And something I discovered recently, I can't remember who told me, but checked it out in the news. President Xi Jinping of China apparently, allegedly, has a brain aneurysm. Have you heard about this?
No.
He's got a brain aneurysm. So what is an aneurysm? Essentially, it's almost like a rupturing of the blood vessel.
The blood vessel.
And apparently, they want him to operate, or his doctors are saying, operate, get rid of this. Apparently, he's saying no, and he wants to rely on traditional Chinese herbal medicine. And he wants to heal it that way, yeah? Because, of course, it's a great tradition. But the trouble with aneurysms is that they can what? Burst.
Yeah, they can rupture.
Can rupture. And famously, Sharon Stone had one. Do you remember? She had one, and she's talked a lot about that. How interesting that I'm shuffling the deck, and at the base of the deck is the Hierophant, which deals with what? Government. So I just thought, let's have a pull and see potentially what Xi Jinping's health is going to be like in the future in regards to this aneurysm. Because obviously, Shanghai and a lot of people in Beijing have been locked up still. But let's see what his health is like going forward. All right. So, Spirit, what can you tell us about Xi Jinping's health? I'll just pull this down. Try and do a little shuffle here. What can you tell us about Xi Jinping's health? Oh dear, my shuffling's not so great today. Oh, look at this. Oh, gosh. Oh, absolute failure. Absolute. Look. I can't even. Honestly, guys, I'm having such a tizzy today. Honestly, I can't even shuffle my own cards. Let me just... Oh, dear. Whatever. Mercury retrograde, folks. Listen, the reason why they affect me so much is because my sun and moon are both in Mercury-ruled signs. So moon in Gemini, sun in Virgo. So the retrogrades, they just get me, folks. Never mind. All right. Xi Jinping.
Okay, you want me to go ahead and go since I've got...
Yeah, go for it. Let rip if you're ready. Yeah, go for it.
Well, we have Xi Jinping here as the leader. And we're looking at some action. He's trying to get away with it, but it looks like they're going to have to put the energy elsewhere. Going into it, we have, the happy family, the things he's trying to keep things on keel by being the leader, just, pushing his way through. The center of it, we have things going forward. It's not going to bode well for him. He's going to have a really difficult time with it, reassessing it, evaluating it. They're going to have a new direction because the foundation is, this is usually my investigative one. He's going to have the operation.
Wow.
Yeah, sword is coming out. So it looks like he is going to have an operation.
Aha. Well, very interesting. So again, me just having a funny turn. So I shuffled, pulled out 5 cards, and look, 2 of them are the actual information deck cards. You know what? This calls for a button press. I'm just having a funny turn, guys. Let's just go with this. So what I've done is I've pulled out 2 more cards, kept the order that they were in, and then pulled out 2 extra cards. So let's just go with this. Now, look, it's very interesting because
there are no accidents. So.
Oh, absolutely no accidents. And out of my 5 cards, he's got 3 reversed. Yeah.
Ooh.
3 reversed. So first of all here, look, we've got the 10 of Cups reversed. So what's the 10 of Cups about? It's normally about what? The happy family, isn't it? The happy family. Everything's all good. It's like the Waltons. Yeah, they're standing there and they're looking up at the rainbow and all this kind of stuff. So obviously for Xi Jinping, this is not good. It's the opposite of happy families. And I think this also as well reflects some of the increasing frustration and discontent amongst the Chinese people themselves, who are really
all the lockdown and stuff they've been in forever.
Absolutely. I think they're going to be going into their 6th week on this. Don't quote me on this. It's around about 5 or 6 weeks of lockdown. And now they're actually even starting to question, because they're like, because some people have literally had fences, metal fences built around their accommodation. And a person's been like, well, isn't this a fire risk? Because if the building's on fire, how on earth do we get out? Yeah. So Xi Jinping, in terms of the happy family, in terms of China being in one cohesive, shall we say, mindset, that's not working. No. Then when we look here, we got the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Now, this, as we know, this is a slow-moving card, so this can deal with loyalty and all of this kind of stuff. But here, this can actually deal with frustration with one's job. Things aren't moving forward. This can deal with stubbornness, digging your heels in. It can also deal with the mercenary as well. And one of the things that is really frustrating a lot of people in China are these guys in the white, or guys and women in the white suits. Have you seen them? I can't remember what they call them. Do they call them, is it white blobs? Is that what they call them now? Oh, in China, they've got a name for them because they just, you know, they wear this stuff. So this, in a way, I feel like the Chinese, or at least the people in Shanghai and stuff, Their frustration is starting to come through in this reading. And they also want to know, when is this stuff going to end? Slow moving card. Look at this, Page of Wands in reverse. Wands are all about messages, fire, passion, and stuff like this. But when the Page of Wands is in reverse, this can actually deal with petulance and a sort of kind of sass. So in a way, this is almost like it's almost like there's a petulance and a kind of sass to Xi Jinping, which is like
two out of the same 3 cards.
Oh, amazing.
3, yeah.
Oh, you know what? Forgive me, because when I looked at my deck, because I'd pulled out the 2 cards that weren't even tarot, I was trying to quickly rummage that out while you were pulling. So look at that. So you can see, look, the cards, as usual, are in agreement. Yeah. So, but this is also as well, it's a card of youth. And it's a card of pages of messages. Wands of passion. People are getting frustrated and angry. Here's Xi Jinping here as the King of Wands, yeah, trying to keep ahead of it all, trying to look powerful and dynamic, yeah, not wanting to admit, of course, that whatever's going on. But look at his outcome card, Hanged Man.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. I think he is going to have this operation, because if he's not careful, something can go pop, and that can mean, we know what that can mean. That can mean literally you're talking for a minute and then you're like that.
That as well. Could have a stroke. They could go, unconscious, and yeah. So he may have to bite the bullet and have something else done.
Indeed. Right. So are you ready for the next question before I do some shout-outs? Perfect. All right, let's do some few shout-outs. So who else is here with us? And thank you guys for joining us. There's a good few hundred of you now, coming up to 500. I'm impressed, considering that. I'm just one of those days, whatever. So let's see, we've got Pamela Lee Stevens, Diane, we've got Craig Dixon, we have got Marvel Johnson is sending healing energy. Oh, the screen's just gone a little bit blank. Oh, there we are, it's come back now. Thelma, Connie, I'm wondering if I should even touch anything, because the energy is just so funny. Oh, here we are. So someone's saying here, much love to everyone. Hi to everyone. Missed, much love. Thank you, Connie B. And we've got Deborah and many more. Right. So let's have a little look. So what have I got here? I've got some questions that have come in as well. So thanks for the questions, everyone. Look, I know that this is gonna almost sound like a broken record, but you know what? I think we need to look at Roe versus Wade again, because it's just too important. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's so important. If this thing is carried out as they intend, I don't even want to think about it. So let's look at Roe versus Wade and what's the energy around that. And the Supreme
we have that one Republican woman that's going against even contraception of any kind. Yeah, it just keeps getting worse.
I don't know what to say. What is that what they want? Everyone having 13 children? How are you going to feed them with cost of living crisis? Baby milk formula, that's another one we need to talk about as well. 8 Republicans voted. It's just anyway, okay. Roe versus Wade. What's going on with that energy? Let's have a look. All right. Let's see if I can actually pull my cards out in a vaguely decent fashion. Roe versus Wade. Roe versus Wade. Roe versus Wade. What's the energy around that spirit? Oh, I'm getting the shivers. Wow. Okay. All right, I'm ready to go. So we'll just swap it in tandem. Oh, this is interesting. Of course. All right. Look at this. Roe versus Wade, Ace of Cups, reversed. Yeah, people are not happy. I think that obviously the High Court's not happy because, of course, this information's been leaked and they probably feel like their goose is being cooked. But also as well, people are what? Not happy with what they're discovering. So when the Ace of Cups the right way is all about positive emotions overflowing. This is really quite literally the opposite, and we can just take it as simply as that. Oops. Next card that I get in the opposition obstacle here is the Eight of Cups, which is also reversed. So the Eight of Cups, when it's the right way up, it's about walking away from something, isn't it, Lady G? Walking away, you know, just being like, you know what, I could carry on, but I'm done. So, but there is this element here where if we just take it literally, someone is not able to walk away, not able to leave something. So could this be, I hope, someone within the High Court? Look, this could mean two things. It could mean either someone doesn't want Roe v. Wade to be overturned, which I think could be the case, because otherwise, why the leak? But this is also could also speak about, because I did a reading on Alito, this also says to me that he is someone that just can't let it go. He just can't seem to let the Roe versus Wade go. And I think he's been plotting to get rid of this for decades. Yeah, when I read his chart and stuff like that. So on one hand, there's a person who doesn't want Roe v. Wade to be turned over. And then there's another person who cannot wait to get rid of this thing. Look at the next card. Seven of Swords, trying to get away with something. But this also means what? A spy in the camp.
Yeah.
So we have the leak now. Someone who potentially doesn't want Roe v. Wade to be overturned. And there's a spy in the camp. So what this says is, when I look here at the next card, the Two of Swords, this is, I think, the Supreme Court kind of trying to work out who it may be. And of course, this revelation has put them in a quandary. Yeah, they're not so sure what to do. However, the outcome card, look, it's Swords again, but this time it's the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords, of course, means anxiety and all those different things. And when it's reversed, it doesn't mean much different, really, does it? You know, it's what's happened is that this leak has really put a cat amongst the pigeons. And the ultra conservatives are probably really wrangling and trying to think what to do now, because their cover has been blown. They've lost the element of surprise. So there's a lot of anxiety here. There's a lot of emotions and cups. You see, it's just cups and swords. So lots going on behind the scenes. Lady G, what do you think? What have you got?
Yeah, well, what I get is, let me get this here. Underneath of it all, now I'm doing different cards this time. I'm not doing the tarot. I'm doing a different deck. Ooh. But underneath of it, we have the breath in the air still going, and we have them under contract. Under contract when it comes to holding this till it comes to the funeral time. Okay? Oh. And they're bound up by these ones that are wearing these masks that are doing this nonsense, you know. So in the past, we have the goodness for them, for the wealthy, hanging on to it, putting this maze in place. So they've been doing this for some time, building up to this. Because in the center of it, we have, it's a time for spiritual guidance, but they're putting an end to that because they've made their choice on their path. So like I said, you know, the evil angels out there, you know, real spirituality, we're putting an end to it with this faux thing we've got going. The challenges of lighting a fire, thing we're going to be talking about to put an end to this, to bring this to a conclusion, because, yeah, people are not happy. The foundation is they're blossoming. We have the heavy hand of those, and we have the exchange that's going on with that. I think this is going to light a fire under people. We have the void and the clouds, difficult times, and again, just the Queen of Swords, slice and dice. You know, so it's just going to be all out on both sides. This is going to be really a divisionary thing. And, you know, to sit there and try to use the uber right, the evil, you know, evangelicals ones that are so bad, preaching politics from the pulpit. It's just really come to a head with that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I really think it is. For me, you know, not to spook people out too much, but and along with this Pluto returns as well, we really are reaching these historic, pivotal moments where America's really gonna have to, you know, and this is happening in the for some people consciously, others subconsciously, but is rising in the collective where America's future is being decided, like what type of country is going to be going forward. And it's just so important. And I think many of us and many other readers are going to be reading on this, because this is sort of the one which where it splits that timeline officially. As you would know, I had a dream, you know, dreams months ago where I said, you remember, I said the timelines are splitting.
Yeah.
One of them was in connection with Musk and, of course, the technology and all that kind of stuff. Apparently, the shares for Tesla are going down or something like that. But this, in a way, Roe versus Wade is an explicit timeline, because it really will have long-reaching repercussions, because they're coming after contraception, and then they're going to come after every other kind of right that has been hard won.
Exactly.
You know, not in the Constitution, you know, which is almost everything. I mean, it just beggars belief. I mean, this was something that was written hundreds of years ago, and it's an amazing document, and it's been a beacon to the world, and they are just attacking it, pulling it apart, every excuse that they can, and it's just and we just have to see, you know, without getting too down about it, but do you know what I mean? So we will just have to see. So hopefully, you know, the light will win. At least we're more aware of it now. And someone
eventually it will, no matter which way it goes. Eventually the light wins. So
exactly, the light always wins in the end. And someone was asking, when will the retrograde end? I think it ends on the 6th of June. So still a little ways to go just yet. Retrogrades happen about 3 times a year, and they last for about 3 weeks each time. So let's have a little look. Let's do a few more shout outs. Look, someone here, Tris has cracked me up here. So she's like, can any one of you beautiful souls help me understand what time the Saturday show is? I didn't know it changed again. Sorry, Mercury Retrograde, which you already know, but sometimes it's just like that. The hours change, and you know, sometimes it's just like that. So we got Azealia in the house. We got Sharon Saibe, of course. We also have Marsha Green. We've got Linda Bishop and June Jackson, and many more of you as we creep up to 600. Can you believe it, Lady G? 600. I mean, like, wow.
That's amazing, considering you know, what happened with those time today.
Exactly. Oh, well, one of these things. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on my phone here, because we've just reached that 600, which is wonderful. So I'm going on the phone to answer some of the questions that that were posted there. And this is an interesting one. So this is coming in from Miss Red 4. So how do you think the Depp versus Heard trial will end? Will JD do another Pirates of the Caribbean? So Johnny Depp, that's what they mean. Sorry, my brain just went flat. So let's tackle both. So How will it end? Let's read the energy on Johnny Depp versus Heard. Let's just say it's not been great for both of them. I think slightly worse for her, but I don't know. What do you think, Lady G?
Oh yeah, he's gonna pull it out, and I think absolutely he's gonna do some things. But well, I'm pulling the cards anyway, so we'll see what the cards say. Oh,
What, has one jumped out?
oh well, yeah.
Ooh. do you want to let rip or
Oh, absolutely.
okay, go for it. What jumped out?
In the past, we have the Tower moment. You know, what's going on now is the abuse of power. By underneath of it, guess who?
Look.
Miss Amber Heard. And above it, that's going to be the end of her drama. And he's going to wind up with the show me the money.
Wow. I mean that's really clear, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't get much clearer than that, because they say there's no such thing as bad publicity, which I don't think is quite true, but I think it is also putting Johnny Depp in the public consciousness. And because I've my members will know this, I've actually done a chart reading for Johnny Depp, and I can see Amber Heard in his second half of life chart, and you can see the lies, but again, for entertainment purposes only. Yeah. And what I want to say, we never fully know what happens in a marriage and in a relationship, and each relationship is unique and has its own dynamics, and I think they both brought out shadow in each other. So I'm not trying to say that Johnny Depp is any angel.
I'm not saying he's all wonderful, but she is absolutely the paranoid narcissist that is going to get even no matter what. Yeah.
And that's what I saw in Johnny Depp's chart, in his marriage chart, in his second half of life chart. Amber Heard is right there, and it's this combination with Rahu and some other kind of elements. And what Rahu is known for in the shadow is liars and narcissists.
Yep.
There.
Oh yeah, you can see 100%. She's a narcissist, and she'll just make this stuff up to get even. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's not that good of an actress on the stand. I'm sorry.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. Oh dear, I don't think this is looking good for Amber Heard. Look, they've all come reverse, and I'm sure I got the deck the right way up this time. Yeah, I did. Bloody hell, look, they've all come out reversed. Oh dear. Okay, let's go with this. So in terms of the outcome, it's obviously very clear that there's going to be a big winner and a big loser here, but it's very interesting. We've got someone who's been trying to turn the sword of truth upside down, and I think we know who this is, because we can both read the cards, and I can read Johnny Depp's chart, and I think this is to do with Amber. So there's that. Next card that comes out is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant deals with what? Rules, regulations, government, but also legalities and stuff like that. They're in a court of law, and it's being splashed across all of America. But look, there is this element here where we've got the Chariot reversed. So it's this trial, as it goes on, of course, is not good for either one of them, because it's put both their careers on hold. So in a way, it's almost like who comes out, they both come out badly from it, but who comes out the worst? Yeah.
I think in that Chariot reversed, I see her going backwards.
Oh, yeah. Because, look, this is what I want to say without being too rude, everyone, but we're all adults here. But what I want to say is this. When you take someone on trial and you do all this, that, and the other, and you are not the established star, and you're the one who pooped the bed, then
throw a bottle and cut off his part of his
cut off his finger.
Sakes.
What is it that people are going to remember? Yeah. What is it like? Did she not think that would be coming up? And I would just say to anyone, whoever you're with, when your spouse or partner poops the bed deliberately, it's time to go. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just let you know, time to go. So here we are, 4 of Cups reversed. Let's just take it as it is. they're not liking the options that are on the table. What we're seeing what all the dirty laundry come out, all of the regrets backwards and forwards and this, that, and the other. You know, it's not a good look.
No.
And then look, Knight of Cups reversed, which again, in a way, this kind of encapsulates the whole marriage, doesn't it? The false promise, the false knight. When it's this way up, it can mean pleasant things, having an offer and all that kind of stuff. This is just the opposite of that. And in many ways, I feel like Johnny Depp feels like Amber Heard, in many ways, was the false knight for him. Yeah. Narcissists are very charming. Yeah, they're very charming. But when they don't get their way, that's when things start to come out. Johnny Depp, as we know, is not perfect. But this, I feel like, in some ways, is almost his disappointment as well, a bit in of himself, where he recognized, he said, you know what, I married my mother, you know, my alcoholic mother. So not great for both, but I think Johnny will come out of it better in the end.
I think so as well. Yeah.
I think he'll come
and
out
I
better.
think that's, you know, who's going to want to work with her after this? Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's nothing there because, you know, Johnny Depp is a proven talent over decades. We all know how talented he is. There's no doubt about the man's talent and his abilities, but we know he's a tortured soul. And I think some people, there's nothing like the comeback. Yeah. There's nothing like the comeback. And, you know, if Johnny Depp makes another film, it's going to be box office. People are just going to turn out.
Sure.
As long as nothing too terrible comes out. But I think most of the dirty linen is out there now. Okay.
The thing is that he said he would never he has not looked at her once in the trial.
Wow.
He said he would never look at her again, and he hasn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's going to sting. That hurts a narcissist a lot because they want to be looked at. They want that validation and that.
Yeah, exactly. And that tells who's the one that's been the abuser, because the one that's being abused does not want to look at the abuser. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Indeed. So I've got another question that's come in, and this is a really good one. So this is Sonoma Natural. So she's saying, or I assume it's a she, but I could be wrong. Sonoma Natural. Have you noticed that so many of these baddies have substantial illnesses? Putin, Trump, Barr, Thomas, the list goes on. Can you discuss how ignoring your spiritual path can result in physical illness? Oof, that's juicy, that, isn't it? That's juicy. So what I want to say briefly, as some of you may have seen either, I can't remember where I put it, members video or public, I can't remember. However, I've noticed there is a pattern with certain world leaders who have Pluto Gandanta in the last stages of Cancer and the sign of Aslesha, which can deal with manipulation and control. So I might have to do a video special on that, because what I've noticed, Lady G, that certain men born between sort of like 1944 and going up to 1953 with a little dip in and out again in 1954 have this control, seem to have this desire to repress and to control people. And Putin has it, Donald Trump has it, Xi Jinping has it, some other people have it for entertainment purposes only, as you can imagine. And this question in a way is an extension of that. So how would you like to phrase that question? Because it's quite an open question. Is there anything you just want to say off the bat about, because you teach your students, of course, about Kundalini energy. What are your theories around ignoring life path and disease, if you have some?
Well, you know, the first thing I tell the students is live your life with honesty, integrity, transparency, sacredness, and simplicity, which they they're all bankrupt on all of those. So, yeah, they got to deal with the stress of the stuff they're doing, and that's going to affect their health for sure.
Mm.
We know 45's big spirituality. He'll go hold the Bible upside down to take a picture. You can't even figure which way is right way up, let alone opening it and knowing anything in it. So
absolutely. I mean, it's just, he is just so beyond. Duck Larange is just so beyond. It's hard to even. Do you know what I mean? He's beyond parody. That man is beyond parody. He's there, standing there. He's gassed a whole bunch of, and got the riot police out on protesters and to stand in front of the church only to hold it upside down. So the guy has never read a leaf of the Bible in his life. And they
asked him, what's your favorite verse? And he goes, well, that's too personal to get into. Verse in the Bible.
Whereas, someone like Biden could give a speech for an hour on verse from certain bits from the Bible and stuff like that. God, Duck Larange, man. That man is one of a kind. I'll give him that. He is one of a kind. Thankfully, we will never see the like again. His chart is too rare and unusual. Okay, so the connection between disease and not following life path. No, that's not a clear question. Spirit, how does the blockage of one's life path affect a person's health? There we are. That's a better question. Let's see what the cards have to say. My God, so many. What is going on? Did I get my deck upside down again? No, I don't think I did. Wow. All right. Would you like me to go?
Be my guest, absolutely.
All right. Here we are. This is just really interesting because, just to let you know, with this deck, the other day, only a couple of days ago, I just made sure they weren't. I was just like, what is the general rule of the lay of the cards? And the vast majority of them were upright. Tonight, it's been reversals, and I've just been shuffling the same way. Okay, so if asking the question, how does not following your life path affect one's life? So here, look at this. I get the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So Pentacles aren't only just about money and wealth, which of course this would establish to an extent, but they're also about values.
Mm-hmm.
So what essentially this is saying is that when we don't live according to our true voice, our inner values, then that of course is going to cause us what? Strife and anxiety in the outside world. When this card is the right way up, it is the abundant person. The person has everything that they need. There's fruits here. Normally there's a tree in the background and all of this kind of stuff, but it is a person that is, has all of their resources met. So in a way, the cards are saying by not following one's inner path, you're almost cutting off your inner resources. Mm-hmm. Now, let's be fair to people. Some people have had very difficult childhoods, domineering parents, or circumstances that were immensely difficult that literally prevented them from doing what they wanted to do. But this is more about an internal spiritual question as opposed to physical realities. We all know on some level when we are compromising ourselves. And isn't it interesting? The Nine of Pentacles, when reversed, can mean compromise and almost like a kind of prostitution, selling yourself out.
Exactly, because I see it when it's right thing up is the abundance, you know, being grateful for the things you have and seeing what's of value. So they
Indeed.
throw away what's of value and prostituted themselves. Yeah.
Indeed. And then when we see what's the next card here, King of Swords. Yeah, King of Swords reversed. So again, what's the King of Swords all about? When he's the right way up, he's about what? Rationality, judgment, keeping a cool head, making decisions, legalities, etc., all of that kind of stuff. But what kind of clear judgments can you make if you are in a state of what? Inner turmoil. So here, when we become frustrated that we're not living our true life path, and we know that we might be compromising ourselves, this could be a relationship that we know that we should leave, but we stay, or it could be a job that we know we should leave, but we should stay because we might want the security, which of course is understandable, but then that can lead to what? Poor judgments. And even this can even lead to cruelty as well. And this can also ironically lead to people not treating us so well because we're not valuing ourselves in the first place. Yeah, this can mean cruelty. Next card that comes up here is the Eight of Swords. So again, you know, reverse, but what's the Eight of Swords? It can be when we put ourselves in a bind. So again, it's this thing of we have to do our best to follow our inner voice, our true spirit, lest we get stuck in a bind. These things, of course, can lead to emotional upset here. This is the Five of Cups, but there are still two standing. So we have to do an emotional inventory. We have to be honest with ourselves, learning to let go things from the past and look at the cups that are still standing. Look at the blessings that are still there in our life. And when we do that, we can move forward with power, the Chariot card. Power, confidence, and self-actualization. There you are. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, going into it, the past, it's about the invocation. What are you praying to? What is the contract you're making? Are you making the contract with the divine is, with God? Or are you making the contract with the ego self, the dark side, the shadow side? So in the present, it's about, you know, where are you going forward to? The decisions you're making will affect your health. Okay. So what you're doing is affecting your health. As far as the challenge, these are the things that you are, the abundance and things, and you have poisoned it if you have made it the bad choice of following ego or the shadow side rather than doing your spiritual journey. So underneath of it, we have fighting through, you know, the bridge. Now, which bridge are you taking? Are you taking a bridge where you're getting hung up, wearing the mask, seeing from a different way as to how you're going to get ahead? And this is about your long-term journey. What direction are you going? Again, where are you putting your faith? Where are you moving forward to? This is about working on things, and it's never going to be easy. We all have our cross to bear. We all have our difficulties with it, but it's about gratitude for them. They don't look at the deeper things. They're not looking for the gratitude. So they're missing out on that. And when it comes to the cups working together, they're more on the sexualized side of things rather than the benefit of humanity.
Wow. I think that was profound. And of course, this is a great area of expertise for Lady G. And if anyone is interested as well in you know, becoming one of Lady G's students and stuff like that, I can just say from just talking and reasoning with Ganga for a long time now. She's a lady of immense wisdom and experience, and has, you know, experienced almost everything in life. And as you see, she just drops out the occasional pearl now and again of, oh yes, I remember when I lived on the Air Force back in Nam and stuff like that. You know, this is a lady that's seen the world. And, you know, maybe next time, you know, I'm next time in the show, I've got to make a bit of space for you to kind of just drop in. Because look, the time has gone already, but where we drop in a Ganga anecdote where she just engages us with a little gem. She's got so many, guys, you just wouldn't believe. And we talk about those things there. But alas, look, the time has gone, folks. Even though it was a bit up and down, I think we did well, didn't we, Lady G? We kind of rode through that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I couldn't get my cards right, couldn't get them shuffled. I was shuffling and trying to read, you know, the information pack deck and all of that kind of stuff. Sometimes it's just, you know, it just goes a little bit like that. But, you know, you get on with it. It's live TV. It is YouTube. That's what it's all about. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. We really appreciate it. Was over 700 of you in the end. So that's fantastic, you know, considering. We, of course, will see you next week as well. And Lady G, I'm going to try and see if we can get Lena back on the show. She was off YouTube for a while, back on today. So I think she says she might be free next week. So it'd be great to have her on.
Oh,
so
always love to have Lena or Milo or anybody else on here. It's always fun.
Exactly. It's always fun. So guys, we will see you next week. We will leave it there, and I'm going to end the show before anything else can go wrong. All right.